Well, hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, the last time I came to this field we had the New Holland, and it's nice to be back. You can see I'm in the 6R again. Today I finished off cleaning off that stock box. I thought we'd finish using that for the rest of the year, but we've got a contract to do, moving someone's cattle with that yet. And then just before the end of the day, just finished the top of this field here, which I thought I would have a chat with you guys. Nothing compares when you get back to your John Deere. It is lovely. There's nothing like it. There really isn't. And I'll tell you what, swivel seat, if I go here. Oh yes! I can set the GPS up as well, and I've got my lights, which we put on the other day. Whoa, look at that! Now we're cooking with gas. Not bad. Not too shabby. And thanks to Agric Isaac and a few other subscribers who have messaged me, and I've been able to, in the GPS and the John Deere, manage to get it to be quiet. Here we go, somewhere in the menus, guidance, on, and that then, there we go, that's what was causing all the beeping problems. So then if I press on, it'll start bleeping again, but that's because it's on. And then if I press set track, we can make a new run of this field. We're going pretty straight. Set B, done. If I want to shift over, I can just shift, move the wheels a bit. Once you get used to it, it's actually pretty good, Green Star. It's really good. And this time of the year, when it starts to go dark, obviously early, these LED lights will be brilliant. I did notice on the new Ultimate Edition the other day, they've got LED lights. I don't know, I think these lights are as powerful, if not more powerful, than the John Deere LED lights. I think either way, you know, they're both better than just the standard bulbs. Get into my settings, I can just leave the auto track on. And if you have a look all the way over there, there's nothing like working in Norfolk in the evenings with the Cantley Sugar Beet factory in the distance over there. It's going to be difficult for me to hold it straight. But that's the factory in between those trees there. And they've just near there got one of the world's largest, I believe it's like medicinal marijuana farms. Obviously for medicinal purposes with British Sugar. Fair play to them. So I wish I could grow a lucrative crop like that on the farm legally, but you can't. As a farmer, you need to get the license. But whenever I look at that factory now, all I can think about is the sugar and what the other stuff they're growing there. They've obviously done well to be able to get that medicinal marijuana contract. I should think you'd be able to buy a fair few fence if you could grow some of that stuff on your farm. But yeah, no. I think the next best thing for farmers is hemp, which is apparently grown as an energy crop for sort of insulation for houses and things like that. So maybe we'll look into hemp over the medicinal marijuana, but you have to have, like I say, a license, which they've been able to get. Earlier on this morning, I was listening to the BBC's Farming Today again. There was a couple of deers over there eating our turnips. Look at those bloody things. Oh no, 3 there, and then we've got 2 there, 5. My word. How can you blooming grow a crop here? We've got to do something about these deers. Now that fodder beet's been harvested, they're after blooming turnips. What's the trouble? You leave a comment. It's this 6R or that T6? Which one would you rather have? And we'll get that quote for the Ultimate Edition. I have listened to some of your comments from the other day. I'm now cultivating, if you have a look there, at a slight angle, incorporate the organic matter into the soil a bit better, level it out, do a better job. The only trouble is when you go at an angle, it's a bit of a rougher ride, so you can't go as quickly. And one thing I've just noticed, which would be nice, I'm thinking about what I saw the other day with the Ultimate Edition. As I come to the ends, when I put the cultivator down, I'd love a quick system, which I can do on iTech, which is here, which has to be set up. At the moment I just use my rocker switch, then reach over to the shuttle, push that forward, then push my revs up, and I'm away. However, with that new Command Pro, you can put your hand on the joystick and you've got your up and down rocker switch for the cultivator. You've got your speed, your forwards and backwards is on the Command Pro as well, and then you've also got cruise control speed on there, which would be handy with carting with the Command Pro, because I could push the detent, get up to speed when I'm carting cows and bales and things like that. So it's horses for courses, really. I would love to get into a Command Pro and just try one on the road and see what they're like. I bet that is probably quite a good bit of kit. And I must admit, when it came out, the Command Pro, I didn't really think much of it. But then over time, you think about these things, and actually having a joystick there, I think that would be a good idea, actually. But a lot of people say they're a bit more like a Fendt now with those joysticks, so yeah, it will be nice. It will be nice. We'll get that quote on one of those Command Pros, Ultimate Editions. It'll probably be, I'm pretty transparent with you guys, it'll probably be one of those, about 120,000 at the moment, something like that. So you buy a house for that. It's one of these tractors nowadays. I do think the Ultimate Edition in the long term will retain its value because it's a higher spec machine. So we'll have to see, really, whether we can get a build slot on one. Could just do adjusting the top link really, just shorten that a little bit.
Where the potatoes have been, these beds are so loose and a lot of the stones have been taken out by the Grimmy D stoners, so it's actually really easy land to work down. I did just take that T6 before I gave it back onto some medium loam on our neighbour's farm, and it did bring it to its knees. I didn't get it on camera, so I think really if you want to have this cultivator in deep and do a proper job, you probably do want the best part of 180, 190 horsepower. Having said that, the little T6 I had did pull it, so you know, you can't really fault it for that, and that was a good tractor. I suppose the next tractor we'll have to try will be the red alternative Case, which is very similar to New Holland. They're both obviously from C&H, so they're the same brand. They're just made slightly differently with different colours and different cab interior, so we'll have to try one. I did speak as well to a dealership, Nicholson's, today. They're just getting me a couple of quotes on some mowers. They sell Pottinger and McHale, so we'll look at a McHale 3-metre mower and a Pottinger Novicat 3-metre mower. I'll compare the quotes and then probably go from there. My main focus at the moment is the mower and the baler. Once I've got all that out of the way, I'll be well away then. It's funny, I never knew that McHale made mowers. They've started getting them in this area now, so yeah, we're really looking forward to one of them. Some of you guys have commented yesterday and said to look at a Fendt tractor. The only reason I've never really looked at Fendt, you know, seriously, is because they are mega money nowadays. I think they're sort of 130, 40, 50,000 for a Fendt 720 geared up, all specced up with everything, so we'll probably just end up going for another John Deere. I mean, even an Ultimate Edition John Deere I think is a little bit cheaper than Fendt. We'll have to see really, but they are, you know, really well-made piece of equipment, the little 6 Series John Deeres. Built in Mannheim. I've always wanted to go to the factory, and we booked a tour around the factory about 3 or 4 months before COVID hit, and I was gutted because we were going to go around the factory, see all the museum and see the tractors being put together, and yeah, it kind of put that's one of my biggest dreams, was to go around Mannheim, and John Deere were going to help me to do it. Maybe one day in the future when there's not so many, you know, restrictions and stuff, we could maybe go there. But yeah, I was really sad about that. But I did get to go around Langer, which is in the UK at Nottingham, where they've got John Deere's headquarters here, and that was a pretty good day out. They are a good German-built tractor. They do say the Germans build a lot of the best stuff nowadays: cars, tractors, trucks, lorries. You know, they are at the top of their game. Oh, now she's working hard a little bit. Doesn't sound quite as good as a 6x30. It's sort of like a whooshing noise, really. It does sound like a Dyson. Yeah, yeah. It's like my vacuum cleaner. I'm listening. Where's that? Come on, where is it? Yeah, that's a funny old noise. She is starting to work a bit harder now. I've got the cultivator in fairly deep, and as we're crossing through these beds at a slight angle, it's making this tractor work a little bit harder. And it's one thing I've noticed with a lot of these AdBlue tractors, is they do need to be worked. They need to be worked hard. And touch wood, in the few years we've had this tractor, it hasn't had any AdBlue problems or anything like that, because it has had some hard work through it. Muck spreading, cultivating, carting heavy loads of grain in the summer. They do have to be worked, and that's why we would never buy a bigger John Deere than this, is because it probably wouldn't be worked hard enough to keep the AdBlue in check. One thing which will be quite nice about the Ultimate Edition is if you have a look up here, I'll have a sunroof here, so it'll be like a glass hatch, and then I'll have a handle on it hopefully, and then just where this window is, you have a line here, and as you saw the other day, there's a pop window, a little bit of fresh air in. For anyone asking why we do this job at this time of the year, well, this is the potato field. It's recently had potatoes on it. They've just been harvested, and we pull the land down here to level it out and then leave it rough over winter to stop the erosion from the rows. Otherwise this field will just wash away over winter. And obviously it's gone dark now, but you'd think it's daylight with those LED lights. We've done a really good job so far with that Pottinger, and incorporated those potato leaves into the soil, you can see there, and it's leveled it out. I think definitely working at an angle has made a big difference.
Well, hopefully, as you can see now, I've set the GPS up and it's working away really well. A few potatoes there, I might whip out and grab some more of them for my dinner. Better put this camera away, finish this off. Thanks for watching today's cheeky vid, and I'll catch you on the next one.